What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV. In this video, we're going to go through the first things to do on your new Xiaomi 12 phone. I have the 12T here, but you could also do it on their Pro version of the phone as well. Without further ado, let's jump into this video. So first thing you want to do is maybe you want a special wallpaper. You can see I have this live wallpaper. What you want to do is press and hold on a blank spot on your home screen, and then you want to click on that little picture at the bottom there. And then it brings you right into their store. And in their store, you can find all kinds of beautiful wallpapers, having them be moving or non-moving types. They have tons in here to really set the mood on what you think you might like and want with your wallpaper. So choose the one you want. Once you choose the one you want, maybe you want that one, all you'll do is hit apply and set it, and you'll be able to go in there and, again, do whatever you want and create a masterpiece of a look to your phone. But while you're also in here, you can also come in here and choose different ringtones that you might want. So if you want to change your alarm or text or notifications, all kinds of tones in here to change on your phone. You also have your fonts. If you like different fonts to use on your phone, come in here, click on it. You're like, you know, I really like that one. You can hit download where it says free and then download it really easily. And themes as well. Themes would be the other big one. So it would really theme out your phone. It'll change the way a lot of things look and feel on your phone, your icons, your wallpapers, pretty much everything about your phone. So really, really cool stuff. Come in here, find out what you want to do. While we're on the home screen, press and hold on a blank spot. Hit the little gear at the bottom right here. And this is where you can change different things like transition effects. You can see how it's going to look if you choose something else. If you want to customize it a little bit. You also have your don't show text. If you don't want to see text below any labels or anything, that's a really quick and easy way to get that done and take control of the look of your phone, your home screen. I like to see text, so I'm going to put that back. Come back in here. And you also have your fill cells of uninstalled apps. So this really would stop you from kind of putting things where you want. So if you wanted to have an app at the bottom, turn that off. Wherever, if you want complete control of where your apps go on your screen after like there's a blank spot, remove that, turn that off right there. Lock home screen layout as well is pretty important. If you're always moving around your apps on your home screen, turn that on. That'll stop that from happening. When you hit more, you have your Google Discover feed. That is your feed where when you go like over here, you'll see your Google Discovery feed. If you have it on, let me go. There you go. There's a Google Discovery feed, but you can turn it off if you want to, which some people don't like having it on. So if you don't like having it on, just turn Google Discover feed on or off. You also have your home screen. So you can have it classic. If you do classic, it's going to be like how iPhones are, where it's just basically home screens. Otherwise, you can have it home screens and app drawer. I like the classic kind of way. So, I mean, I should say that with app drawer, I like that way better. Next, let's go inside of the camera. So open up your camera app, go into video, hit the gear in the top right. Make sure you're on your back camera, and you can set this to 4K. We totally recommend setting your camera to 4K video so that you can get basically the best settings of video that you can get on there. Go into settings again and come in here, and you'll be able to go into shutter sound, turn that off. That's super annoying. I don't like, that's basically when you take a photo, it makes a shutter sound, like an old camera would. I don't like having that on there. Also, while you're in the camera, if you want to remove some of these features or add some of these features in here, like you're like, you know what, I go to more, I want some of these to be in here. The way you're going to do it is you need to hit the pencil at the top right, and you need to go into either feature layout, you need to go in feature layout. So in feature layout, so maybe you're like, you know what, I don't really need to see pro mode, I don't want to use it. So just press and hold on it, drag it down, and you're like, you know what, I do want 108 megapixel to be there. And you can move these around too. If you want to, you know, flip-flop these a little bit, you can. And that's how you would move them or add them. Once you're done, hit the checkbox in the top, and that's that. Next, let's go into settings. So swipe down from the top and hit the gear in the top right. Next, we want to go into About Phone. When you go into About Phone, you can see how much storage you have left. You can also click this right here, and you can check for any updates to see if you have any updates for your OS, you know, any firmware updates for your phone. So if you're looking to check for updates, that's where you check for that. If you want to see what specs your phone has, under this About Phone, you can go to all specs, and you can see basically the majority of the specs that you have for your phone, how much RAM, the processor, which Android version. Also under About Phone, if you want a factory reset, you can tap that and go through erase all data, and that's how you erase your phone. You should know about System App Updater. Come in here, see if you have any updates that you have, just so that you know that if you do have some, it will automatically do it. And also you can do auto updates. So you can do, it should be on by default, but you can do don't update, auto update over Wi-Fi or mobile data for both and Wi-Fi. Next, under settings, go into always on display and lock screen. So if you want to turn on your always on display, that's where you turn it on, because by default it probably is off. And then you can choose to either add a custom image, or you can use a signature of some sort or a clock, pretty much anything you want. They have their own backgrounds here. So maybe I just want to use a clock. So I'm going to be like, I'm just going to use this one. I like that. And I can change the colors of it if I want. And I'm like, what? I like this one. I'm going to hit apply. And now when I go back, always on display is on. And I'm going to just turn the phone off real quick just to show you what it's going to look like. And there you go, as my always on display. And while we are still under always on display and lock screen, turn on raise to wake. Double tap to wake or turn on off device is locked. I would definitely turn that on. I'll show you how those work. And sleep after I would do, well, I guess 1 minute of activity is fine for the always on display. But ultimately, lock screen format, display charging. All right, you can also launch camera. That's not a bad one to do. So hit the home button, lock your screen. And when I lift it up, it's going to, activate my screen to turn on. If I double tap the screen, it'll turn it on and off. Next, go into display. While you're in display, there is a bunch of stuff in here. First of all, light mode and dark mode. This is light mode, so we'll just keep this on, but usually I use dark mode. You can also schedule dark mode if you want, so if you turn that on, you can do sunrise to sunset or do a custom time. Also, if you go into more dark mode options, you can actually go dark mode in a bunch of different apps if you want, so you can turn that on an individual basis as well. Brightness level is obviously a big thing. You can control it right here. You can also control it right there. And you can also do your automatic brightness. I set it to that because I think that's a pretty good way to do it with this phone, because the phone can get bright or dark enough as for me to be able to see it. Color scheme, I like keeping it at vivid. That's what I would recommend doing. Or you can also do saturated. You can really pretty much do anything you want, but I like vivid or saturated the best. Refresh rate, you got 120 hertz. So by default, it's on this. So if it's on default, basically it will be either on, 60 or 120, it kind of chooses. But if you kind of want it to always be at 120 hertz, click on that, choose 120 hertz, and it will always feel its smoothest. If you're like me and have bad eyesight, you got font and text size. You can come in here, change your fonts if you want, but you can also do the text size. So you're like, I want it to be bigger or smaller. You can come in here and do that and help yourself see your screen just a little bit better. Next, go into sound and vibration. And this is where you can control ARIA volumes if you want to. You also have customize your sound settings in here if you want to adjust your media sound to multiple apps or to multiple audio sources. You can turn that stuff on right there. You also have within here, do not disturb. This is a good one if you're trying to, stay quiet with your phone. Turn that on. That will basically turn off your notifications, and you can have that on. You can also schedule a turn on time for that if you want. Also under here, haptic feedback. If you hate haptic feedback, it's when the phone kind of vibrates, you can turn that off. Next, go to additional settings under sounds and vibrations. And if you don't like hearing dial pad ringtones, which I don't, or lock tones when it locks, play a sound when taking screenshots, play a sound when uninstalling apps. Like, I don't need any of this stuff to be on, so I can turn it off right there. Under sound effects at the very bottom there, make sure Dolby Atmos is on. It probably already is, but you can also change it between music, video, voice, or dynamic. I'd recommend keeping it at dynamic. Next, under settings, go to notifications and control center. So under notifications and control center, you have app notifications. You can turn certain app notifications on or off really quickly and easily here. So you just go like that and you won't get notifications for those specific apps. Also under notifications and control center, you'll see control center style. I have it as set up the old version, which means you swipe down once, you see your notifications, your quick toggles all in the same one. But if you, by default, it's set to this where you see your notifications here, your quick toggles on the right. I like seeing the old version. That's why I like to keep it up, but you have your choice. This is kind of a cool one still under notifications and control center. Go to status bar. You can turn, you can show notification icons. You can see those up there. If I want to turn that off, I can turn it off right there, on or off. I can also show my connection speeds. show your carrier device is locked. You can turn that on or off. You can also edit your carrier name. So maybe you want it to say something else. You can edit it right there. Battery indicator, I would recommend going to that so that you can see your battery on the side of the phone. You can hide the notch if you want. So if you don't like seeing that little circle, tap right there and it'll completely hide it for you. You can also set it for individual apps if you want to. It's set to auto, but you can come in here and make sure it's completely hidden if you want within certain apps. Just come in here and say always show notch or set it to auto. Next, under settings, go to passwords and security. This is where you can set up your fingerprint. You can also set up face unlock on here. Those are the two places you can do that. Next, under settings, go to additional settings. And within this is where you can change your keyboard if you want. If you downloaded multiple keyboards, you'll see current keyboard. If you had another one, you can click on that and choose it. But taking a step back, you have gesture shortcuts. So you can come in here and turn these on or off. But basically, you can do different things on here. Press and hold the power button for 0.5 seconds, and it'll launch your Google Assistant, or slide 3 fingers down, and it creates a screenshot for you. So there's different ones, and it tells you how to do it, and you can turn them on or off here as well. Launch camera, I like this one to be double pressing the power button, so I turn that on, and I would definitely make sure you do that. Next, under settings, go to special features. This is actually kind of an interesting one. Heart rate, if you press and hold on the fingerprint sensor here, it will actually give you your heart rate. So kind of interesting stuff. Your quick toggles, if you want to change those, right here, just swipe all the way over, you'll see edit, and this is where you can remove or add some. So if there's one in here you don't really want, like say you don't want ultra battery saver, just click and drag it down here, and then maybe you do want one from down here. Maybe you want this one, click and drag it to anywhere you want. You can also drag these wherever you want. When you're done, hit done at the bottom, or if you messed up, you can hit reset. If you want to run multiple windows on here, just hit the recent apps button, press and hold on the app. You'll see this, tap that, and then you can find another app that you want to open up to. And maybe you can just hit the home button and bring up all your apps. And now you have 2 apps running at the same time on here, and you can turn it and make it the way you want and do whatever you want. Going back under settings real quick, if you go into home screen, you'll have your animation speeds. You can make this feel faster, so the phone feels a little bit faster. I would definitely recommend doing that. Set it to fast. But one of the other things you can do here is if you want to change your system navigation, like we have the buttons down there, but maybe you like using gestures, you can turn that on. So you have swiping up to go home, swiping up and hold to bring up your recent apps, and swiping from the right to the left to go back. So there you guys go. Those are all my tips and tricks for you on your new Xiaomi 12T phone. If you want to pick it up, it's linked down below. Have a great day, and we'll see you down the road.